winter of 1943, a German soldier knocked on the door of the Siebert family in Frankfurt and asked for young Rudi Siebert. Then at gunpoint, the 15-year-old was led off to become part of Adolf Hitler's Nazi war machine. This one moment would change the direction of worldwide religious studies. Professor Rudolf J. Siebert has had many such moments during his life as a young religious student, soldier, prisoner of war, German Reconstruction scholar, professor of comparative religion, political activist, author, lecturer, and the foremost proponent of the critical theory of religion. His opinions and philosophical ideas are known and respected throughout the world.
When the Air Force officer came, that was in August 1943, so at that time I was 15 years old, and it was the beginning of the situation bombing of the cities. And so, of course, I did not want to go because of the ideas I received in the Catholic youth movement that this was an unjust war. But then, in the following night, Frankfurt was bombed, and I saw the burning people and the houses and so on. And then, in spite of the fact that I had been forced into the service, I then continued with some agreement because I thought that the defense of women and children was a very important task. I think this early experience of the antagonism between a secular state and religion remained with me, and it has influenced my teaching throughout the last 50 years in Europe as well as here, because similar problems, of course, continue long after the death of Hitler and the fall of the German Empire.
Professor Siebert's personal background affects his style of teaching. First, I would say in regards to the compassion he has for his students, knowing that they come from working class positions, working class backgrounds. He nevertheless presents the very difficult topics of critical theory and state relationships, secularity, in a very compassionate way.
On a personal level, Dr. Siebert is one of the few professors out there who is able to touch his students in such a way that it inspires them not only to continue with their academic struggle, but to continue with the struggle within the world, to make this world a better place, in the sense that he helps you see that the change in the world is possible, and helps point you in the direction of you actually contributing to that change.
The critical theory really crystallized and opened doors for me in regards to how the religious messages, the prophetic liberational messages of Christianity, Judaism, and even Islam in this, could be brought into discourse with contemporary political issues, social systems, and the antagonisms, with the attempt to now seek a more reconciled future society.
In terms of the suffering which is going on in the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, of course the theodicy problem is at the center of any religious discussion. It is the task of the world religions to give an answer to this question of God's justice on one hand and the injustices in His world.
The critical theory of religion in many ways acts as ideology critique. Through it, we can see that which is untrue. And also within that, we see that which is true as well. And when we get rid of the false consciousness, when we get rid of the false notions, the false ideas among the religions, among the secular, that opens up a place for discourse among the world religions.
He's the creator of this category, this study of the critical theory of religion. It has its roots definitely in Horkheimer and Adorno and Benjamin and Fromm, early critical theorists, and Habermas as well, second generation. But it's Professor Siebert that has introduced this topic, this theme of the critical theory of religion, not only as a historical study, but also something that is in the forefront of the discussion of creating this better future society of reconciliation.
I think the world religions have an important role because there will be no peace among the nations without peace among the religions, and there will be no peace among the world religions without discourse among them. and they cannot have a discourse without understanding each other's interpretation of reality and orientation of action.
A new film from Moondog Productions exploring the future of religion, religious faith, and secular rationality is the story of the life and work of Rudolf J. Siebert. If your university or college is interested in obtaining this series of DVDs for use in your curriculum, or for more information on how to participate in the funding of this important project, go to www.rudolfjsiebert.org.